It's Friday, which means it's another episode of People Like You. My name is Emmanuel Osaser, your online personal trainer and wellness coach. And today I am met with a very special guest, Mr. Horace Ali Rana.
What's up?
Man, dude, I'm super excited about this episode. So me and Horace have known each other for about a year. He is my roommate. And I will go ahead and explain later on why he'll go ahead and explain later on why it's taken a year to do this podcast episode. That's because Horace is a medical student here in Bakersfield, California. And as you would imagine, he studies all the time. But congratulations to Horace. He has just now finished his third term.
Yeah, third year.
Third year of med school. So now he finally has some free time to come on and bless the podcast. So Horace, take it away. Tell us a little bit of something about yourself.
All right. So yeah, it has been a year. I know I've wanted to do this. I've seen you do the previous podcast, and I see how much fun you have. And as I'm studying, I'm always hearing what's going on. I'm like, man, there's gonna come a time where I can give you a little bit of my story. So I just finished my third year. Friday, I took my exam. Here we're 3 days out from that, so I'm kind of relaxed. I'm going back into my usual routine, but I came out here just to start my medical school, my third year medical school, like you said.
Right.
And so since then, I've been trying to keep up with my training as I've moved out here, trying to combine, because before it used to be just the books, and now that I'm working, I have to figure out how to work and also live my life, which is pretty much working out, and that's it. Yeah. That's the only fun thing I have going on.
Yeah. So when we first met, there was something interesting about you. You were the first medical student that actually was into fitness as well. And not that med people aren't into fitness, it's just finding the time to be able to dedicate to lifting weights consistency. And so Horace was actually in a bodybuilding show, and the pictures are posted on the video here. But it's just insane, to see a doctor ripped. And so, take us to how this whole started off.
I appreciate the compliment.
It was insane.
So that's kind of what led me to, I guess you could say, medical school. Anything I've done in life. Right. Is that while I was in undergrad, I was actually doing nursing at the time. So I was doing my nursing degree. And at the end of it, I graduated. I wanted to go back to med school, so I had a little gap, right? Okay. And during that gap, I decided, hey, I'm gonna do. I've been lifting since I was 15 years old. So basically, I got into it because our cross country coach. So I was a skinny kid, right? Running all the time. Right. Freshman year, I did it all 4 years of high school. So our coach, he was actually also the football coach. So one day, he said, hey, all you cross-country kids, we're working out with off-season football. So us being all the skinny kids...
Because they're both summer sports, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so they were training off-season, and we were, getting ready for our season. So he's like, hey, just go in there, lift with them. And I remember, they were actually making fun of me because I had actually just moved from California to Texas at the time. Right. Texas is known for football. Right. So here's this Cali kid coming in and can't even lift.
California cross runner. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I started. That was the first day I started lifting. I kept up with it, and so like I had mentioned earlier, after college, after nursing degree, I had a gap. So here's when I decided, hey, let me do a bodybuilding competition. I've been lifting as my hobby. I kind of left running, and so I gave my 100%, just like anything I've ever done. I was like, dude, let me just go all in, just with that mindset of, hey, I'm always studying to prepare for a test. Let me apply this same thing to bodybuilding and see what happens. And the result was awesome.
Dude, when med school meets the gym, dude, when you told me your story, dude, I was like, dude, I can't wait to have you on. That's insane. So just kind of take us through that process, right? So how long was your prep?
Yeah, so actually let me kind of talk about the inspiration that actually also led up to it, because I think the idea was I never, even when I was running or when I was lifting in high school and college, I never had a six-pack. Ever in my life. So I mean, you'll have the pictures up. That is not me. That's not how I ever looked, and it was never what I could ever dream of. But that was my thing. I was like, okay, before I die, I just want to get a six-pack. And I want to get the best six-pack I can. So that's when I, got my buddy Kirk. He's actually the coach who helped me, right?
Okay.
He's also my best friend.
Right.
So he helped me do it because he had done it before. So we started, going into this prep, I was like, I just want to look amazing, right? I've never had this six pack, and a lot of people don't, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, it takes so much work.
Yeah, it does.
So that's the kind of mindset I went in with, and then I did this prep, you could call, which is never missing a meal,
right,
and never missing any training sessions at all, because I told Kirk, I said, look, my brain, when I lock onto something, I want to do it the best I can.
Right.
And I was his first client. He's never trained anyone before this as like a hardcore.
So what was like his background?
His background was basically he had done bodybuilding shows
Okay.
before. He had a professional trainer,
Okay.
a pro bodybuilder who trained him. So he was like, maybe now I can start training people.
Yeah.
And so I was his first
Okay.
test, I
Nice.
guess you could say.
Right.
And so yeah, we started. He started training me, and what happened is I did this prep for 4 months, right? But I told him, I gave him my word. I was like, look, I know you're putting in the effort for me.
Right.
I'm gonna give you 100%. I'm never gonna miss a meal. I'm never gonna miss any workouts.
Word.
And that was the key, is to promise, make that promise.
Yeah.
And that's what kept me going.
Okay, so this is very interesting because like when I did my show, and how long was your prep?
4 months.
Okay, yeah, so mine was about 3-4 months as well too.
Yeah.
And when I did my show, I stuck to my diet and with my coach maybe 80-75%, and it wasn't like, I mean, and it showed, dude, because your pictures came out looking way worse than mine. But how was that? What was the process like? What were the changes that you experienced sticking to something 100%? Did you go into it cold turkey? Did you segue into your diet plan? What was
that's
that like?
a good question. Yeah, so leading up to it, I remember it was August. No, June, July. I'm contemplating this, right? I had the idea of it, and I'm like, June, July, I'm really getting focused.
Right.
Like I'm telling Kirk, okay, I'm gonna start this as soon as I'm done with the fasting, the month of Ramadan.
Right.
I'm gonna start this. And Ramadan had nothing to do with the fitness. Ramadan actually, the fasting has. I didn't use it to prep for anything.
Right.
It was just there.
Right.
But I was just getting my mind ready. And I said, this day when I start, there's no stopping. I'm going to go all in until that show day, which was in November. So August, September, October, November.
Right.
4 months.
Right.
So I had it locked on. And I call it laser focused.
Yeah.
I was laser focused. When I went to the gym, I was not talking to anyone. I was not like making
Wow.
small talk. Because I was like, this is my one chance in life to get the six pack.
Yeah, dude. This is dope, dude. This is dope. You're just all in.
So I was all in, and
Yeah.
that's kind of it was just getting my mind right, saying that hey, this is your chance, so do it the best you can.
For sure.
Just like med school, you start your classes, and you get this one chance of a lifetime
Right.
to prove yourself. Because if you fail,
Yeah.
no other school will let you in.
Yeah.
Because they're like, dude, it's on your record. We've seen what you're capable of, and you
Yeah.
weren't capable of it the first time.
Right.
So we don't know if you're gonna, make it. So when you go into something that you really care about and value, you give it 100%.
You attacked this competition in your weightlifting the way that you attacked your studies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So that was kind of I guess you could say what really, it was like always studying. I'm like, dude, what if I just apply this to
Right.
the
Same intensity,
fitness?
dude. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. So how do other like med students, your doctor mentors at your rotations, or anybody that you've shared your pictures with and your story with, how do they react in the medical field? Because like I said, it's not the norm. Like I think you're the first like doctor I've seen with a six pack before.
No, it's I'm really surprised when I was actually taking my courses. We only had about 2 hours or 3 hours, I would say, maximum of nutrition lectures. So doctors in general, the one thing I realized is that we know the basics about lower your salt intake,
Right.
or make sure you don't eat carbs. But nutritionists know what it means to have a perfect diet,
Right.
to get to a certain goal. So that's why doctors know a little bit.
Right.
But whenever we set a goal for our patient, we always send them to a nutritionist because
Specialist.
they know better
Right.
about how to get them there. So my knowledge actually about fitness and about nutrition came from before med school, because med school didn't give me anything extra when it came to nutrition.
Word.
Okay? So that was my experience, and that's kind of going back to what you said. The one thing I learned through the process of dieting and working out is I learned about myself.
Yeah.
That was the most fun part.
Yeah.
I took a look at myself and saying, wow, this is how far I can push myself. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it, because it was day in and day out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a there's a small percentage of people who work out and go to the gym regularly compared to like all the people, like let's just use America, like compared to all the people in the country. The percentage of people who go to the gym regular, it's a small community, like relative to like the people who live inactive lives and stuff. And so when you take that small percentage and then say, okay, this small percentage, the amount of people that do an actual bodybuilding show, like, I mean, you're like, that's a rare class to be in. And so like, that's definitely like an experience. I can imagine that will like kind of change. And it's kind of cool too, how you just kind of translated the way you attack your books with the way you attack the gym and everything. What are some benefits that you've seen in your regular life? Because you've continued your regular working out. I know that you go to the gym like various times throughout the week. You're very consistent. Right. What are some other areas, even after your show, as you continued your fitness journey, that you've seen levels of improvement, like being able to sleep better, focus during your studies?
Right. So yeah, I guess the bodybuilding show was a one-time, I guess you could call it a one-time deal,
right,
to really see how far I can go. And then I was like, okay, I have other priorities.
Yeah.
I need to go back to my
right.
normal life, which is becoming a physician, passing all my exams. But hey, what do I do now with all this I've learned in the bodybuilding area, fitness area? Do I just leave it behind, or do I actually take some of it and bring it into this new life? Because that show was right before I started med school.
Wow.
Because I knew that was the last time I would have all this freedom.
Yeah.
So I did take what I learned from that and I put it into my life going through med school. And every day, I did skip a lot of workouts in the first like 2 years of med school because it was just so intense.
Oh, yeah.
But I made sure every week I got at least some physical activity. Somehow, some way. I did go to the gym. Maybe it was once a week, maybe 3 times. I was used to the 4 times, 5 times a week. So it slowed down, but that is what helped me like pass all my tests, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that 30-minute gap or 30-minute workout, 45-minute workout really just got my brain functioning again, body going in, and I would do it at like, I don't know, you could say 4 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm tired by that time. Go to the gym, get some energy, and then move to knock out some more things until bedtime.
So you made it a part of your schedule, consistency, habit, routine, right? Good, because that's just what I preach, and that's so interesting that as you stopped, as you got into med school, your show was over and everything, that you still like you said, 30, 40 minutes, you just did the little that you can to still like bring it a part of like your regular life, right?
Yeah, I had to. I knew that if that's what, because I'd been doing it many years, I was like, that's what got me through nursing school, and I got my license as an RN, and I was working out every day.
Right.
And now med school came up, which is like 10 times harder. Nursing school is really hard as well, but however, now it required so many hours. I was like, do I just leave that behind? And no, it was just not, it didn't make sense to me to leave something so good behind that helped me just for a few points on a test.
Right.
I was willing to sacrifice 5 points to 10 points on a test if that meant I could go work out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I actually said, okay, here's my test, and I could do like this much better if I don't work out.
Right.
Okay, just a little bit better.
Right.
But hey, my health is gonna suffer at the end. 2 years, 3 years of this, I'm not gonna be happy with myself.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll work out and I'll do my, studying.
Yeah.
Hey,
Study
I'll
I'll
sacrifice 5 points. I'll sacrifice that 10 points. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I need to be healthy to make sure my patients have someone to make sure they're healthy.
Right.
If I'm not,
Right.
I won't believe in what I say, right?
Yeah.
You can tell.
Right.
Like, he doesn't really care.
And you can recommend something like working out regularly to your patients because you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's something I don't see a lot of doctors doing it.
Right.
But when I am practicing on my own, I do hope that my I guess you could say model, or my patient care model has a lot to do with diet and exercise, and not drugs and other things that patients don't really need.
Right. Yeah, for sure, dude. That's so awesome that you just kind of taken, because it's hard to do a show and then just stop cold turkey. Like, you put in all that work. Like, nobody just does a bodybuilding show and then never works out again, even if they are as busy as a med student, right? And so that's kind of cool how you just you took a little bit and did what you could. And one of the reasons why I don't teach like six-pack abs or anything like that is because, well, for one, it's not a sustainable lifestyle. I don't think we were meant to look like a bodybuilder, competitor for the rest of our lives.
And you've done it too. You see the picture.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's there it is.
So when I first met you, I was like, "Yo, you work out too? You've done a show?"
Right.
And I think that's when I realized, I'm gonna be super comfortable living here, because as your roommate, I was like, "Dude, you enjoy the same things."
Yeah.
And then you started up Daily Fit Boost.
Right.
And, it's been awesome.
Yeah, dude, it has been awesome.
Seeing this come along.
So, and that's why I like Daily Fit Boost so much, because like I was saying just now, you just want to make it a regular part of your routine. I like what a guest Anna said, I think episode 11. She said she's 51. I was telling you about it, actually. She's the one that did the boot camp at like 47 or something. But she said that, as she gotten older, it's more important to feel good on the inside than it is to look good on the outside as we get older and older. So I don't really focus on six-pack abs or anything like that. It's just routine, like you said, consistency, habit, going to the gym enough so that you can see the effects when you're dealing with your patients or when you're dealing with coworkers at work and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, no, it really does help on a different level. So right now, you ask me if I have a six-pack? No.
No, I don't either. It's shallow, but I feel great.
I feel good. I feel good. You know what I'm saying? And that's for me, that's an amazing life, to be able to feel good without pain. Because I see a lot of that when I work. I see pain. I see cancer. I see things that, I think people might have been able to avoid had they chosen a healthier lifestyle. But it starts early, and even if you're a little bit late, that's okay. You can always come back, but the idea is, like you mentioned, the habit of which is exactly what you're doing with Daily Fit Boost, is to develop these little habits. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to do 4 months of prep and get a six pack. It's about like, just like you said, feeling good on the inside. And doing it every day, so that no matter what happens, whether you go through a divorce, whether you start a new job that's 80-hour work weeks, you have a way to always feel good and have that source of happiness. And this can be sustained through a lifetime, which is awesome. The gym will never change. I've been to so many countries, so many states. Gym always feels like home. I go in there, I'm like, I know what to do with this dumbbell. It makes sense to me. It's like home.
Yeah, second nature, dude. And as I continued this project, this fitness project that I'm so passionate about, I start to notice more and more as coworkers, as friends tell me the impact that it's having on them, that people just want to feel good. They just want to feel active. It's not about how they look as much as being able to go on a hike, or if you're older, pick up your grandkids and play with them without straining your back. Just the basic fundamental stuff of just life. People just want to just live a healthy lifestyle. So that's super rewarding. I want to go to, because we have maybe about 10 or so minutes left. I want to transition to your meal prep, your eating. So I know that you cook at home most of the time, and then you also have an in-and-out day, which I thought was really cool. I think it's Wednesday night, right? Cool. My day is usually like Friday, Saturday. So take us through the meal prep, where you're at with that and your eating.
I think people are still surprised about the meal prep, because I used to do it. I really I became pro at it when I did the show, right? Because I was eating 6 times a day, making my own food. I mean, shout out mom.
For sure.
So, she helped quite a bit in that, because there's a lot of food. So I became a pro at it, and then now I do cook every day, every other day, and I'll take it to work, and people will still be surprised, like, where'd you get that? Where'd you buy it from? And I was like, no, I cooked it, because it's become a habit, and so I cook it, and I enjoy the food I cook, because with the working out, I'm able to eat this food that might not be the best 5-star food, but it tastes good because I'm hungry from the physical activity I'm doing every day. But yeah, it's simple things. You know, it's nothing fancy. It's broccoli just for the fiber, just so I can things can move through the body appropriately. Chicken, rice, and you know, some cashews, which are the fats that I need. So it's nothing fancy, and it's something that everyone can eat. There shouldn't, you know, people who are allergic to certain things, they can improvise, but it's kind of basics. And the second part to your question was like you said how I'm doing the meal prep, and then there was something else.
The Wednesday day.
Yeah, so in and out day, yeah.
I mean, and that's good. I want you to share like why you do it, because I think it's good to have a balance.
Yeah, so when I did the show, actually, I had a cheat day every 2 weeks, and during that cheat day, I had a good quality cheat meal, which would be a burger which is not frozen ever, like the meat, and it's fresh meat, and it's good quality meat. So I would go to like Five Guys or something. I would never go to like Jack in the Box or McDonald's because they freeze their food and that might not be fresh. Their veggies aren't fresh. So so that's the one thing. I always get a fresh and what's it called? Yeah, fresh cheat meal, and maybe some fries with it, right? But you know, the cheese, you can kind of let go of that. If you do that during the week or every 2 weeks, it kind of helps you reset. It gives you that energy and boost, so you feel good for like 2 days, like really good. And then it kind of, you know, it goes up and then plateaus, and you come back down. When you come back down, you start to feel it. Get another cheat meal. But you have to really be consistent, not say, you know, I'll get 2 cheat meals this week or 3. You gotta keep it to 1 every 2 weeks, 1 every 3 weeks maybe. And that really helps, keeps you happy.
Nice, dude, for sure. And you eat the same meals each day, right? Because I know I do, but I notice that when you cook, like you said, it's usually chicken, broccoli, kind of rinse and repeat week to week, right?
Yeah, I'll do ground beef, sometimes steak. Switch it up a little bit. Sometimes potatoes instead of the rice. So I will switch it up a little bit. However, I do keep it consistent. You know, you can't really, you can play with it a little bit with the flavors and the veggies that you put into something, but if you play with it too much, you kind of lose the, I guess you could say, the real quality food, right? Because I could start putting in a lot more cheeses, a lot more.
That's right. Those are,
and it'll taste great. But you know,
extra ranch and this.
Exactly. So you got to be just careful. However, it's you can really enjoy your food and still. For example, you know, Wednesday, the reason I do it on a Wednesday is because I hate Wednesdays.
Really?
Wednesday is my day. People call it hump day. You know, for me, it's like at the bottom.
Really? What is it about Wednesdays?
I don't know. I'm like, okay, it's Wednesday. It's not Thursday yet. I wish it was Thursday, so it would be Friday. So Wednesday is my day to say, okay. I've worked really hard, you know, because Monday people start off really hard at work or whatever it may be. Monday, Tuesday, you're kind of tired. So I'm like, okay, I need a pick-me-up. And so I decided Wednesday would be that pick-me-up with the In-N-Out. Because it can push me to the Sunday. And then maybe the following Wednesday. So I enjoy it a lot. Sunday is also a great day to do it.
Yeah, for sure, too. Like I said, mine is usually Saturdays now. That's when I usually like to take Clarissa out to dinner, or if we're like out of town or whatever, then you know we'll usually use that as a day to kind of let loose a little bit. So
you can really enjoy that cheat meal. You know, it's not a cheat meal that, for example, if I got 2 burgers, that's a no-no because you're going kind of a little bit too far. Keep it simple. Always that burger and fry. Always just out maybe 1 burger, maybe protein style if that's if you're starting off. You know? You really want to limit the carbs. But it's such a great way to feel good every week. You know, to have that balance. So we're not going crazy.
Dude, I've been there, done that, dude.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Dude, enjoy life for sure, dude. So I want you to talk about real quick about the impact of fitness on the medical community. How much do you think it can help with a lot of the patients that you see, that you diagnose on a day-to-day basis? Just from a medical standpoint, how do you find like fitness to be important for people's lives? It's
the key, I think, to prevent people actually from when patients come in to see their doctor, I think their family doctor, primary care doctor should always promote fitness and nutrition from the get-go and every follow-up appointment, which it kind of gets lost. Once you develop a certain disease, they just focus on the disease and the medicine for it, but forget that, hey, the disease can actually be prevented now if they really work hard and go back to the diet and exercise. But it's just a lot of work for a physician to get the resources to get a patient in that direction. Because you know how much willpower it takes, right? We're talking about developing habits, and people who fail to develop habits end up coming to us, right? That's kind of where we're at. And that's why Daily Fit Boost is such a great resource for people, that they can use it and they don't have to be the patient that comes to the doctor because something bad happened. They can be someone that comes in just to say hi, hello, hey, am I good? The doctor says, yeah, you're doing a great job. Actually, you know what do you use it? The doctor can say, what do you use it? And they say, hey, I'm using Daily Fit. The doctor is like, okay, I should get on that too.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Because, man, and I just think it's just a huge part. I think it's something like regular fitness, like we said, like talking about like half an hour. I try to get out of the gym now at between 40 and 45 minutes now. Just something that you can do routinely. A part of your regular diet. I think it helps with a lot of the stuff, the diseases that you see on a regular basis. To kind of wrap up the this convo, I like to have my guests leave a word of advice, tips, something motivating, a quote that you feel that's helped you along your fitness journey, something that you feel our listeners can benefit to along their fitness journey that's helped you out.
I think the one thing is when you tackle something in life, whether it be education, work, family, relationships, whatever it may be, I think people have heard this before, but be the person who works the hardest in the room, right? People hear that, like, and it really just means that if you as an individual decided, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. Okay, like I just said, there's so many things that you can decide to do. Give it your 200% because it's you. It's like something to nourish yourself, nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Saying that you made a promise to yourself, you go 100% into it and make sure that you do your best to achieve whatever you said. Because if you fall back on a promise, it only hurts yourself, right? It's like, man, I promised that to myself, but it wasn't for anyone else, but it was to myself. And so you never want to regret down the road, like, oh man, I remember I made that promise to myself, I would do this, and I didn't. So I think that's been my life journey, is to always, never regret. Because if I went to do something, or if I wanted to do something, I wanted to do it 100%. Whatever obstacles came, make sure I jump over them or go around them and just get there. So that's
you had your mind made up for sure before you start that competition.
You have to. You can't be two-sided.
For sure, dude. Let's wrap it up with some fun, random, quick-fire questions. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, dude. Let's see how the mind of Harris works and some of your preferences. Okay. First thing you think of when you wake up.
Oh man. Coffee.
I thought you were going to say Stranger Things.
Coffee,
of course, coffee. Would you rather be a master of every musical instrument or be fluent in every language?
Oh, every language. I love traveling. It'd be amazing to just pick up a language.
Yeah, you've been to a bunch of countries.
Yeah.
I think I would rather, be fluent in every language. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Especially when you go to countries where you look different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, people are like, you could come up to them and start talking in their language. They're like, how do you know this?
Yeah.
And it kind of catches them off guard.
Right.
It'd be really fun.
Right. Would you rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut?
Ooh, astronaut 100% because I am scared
of really?
The ocean. Like to the one time I had virtual reality glasses on, and it was automatically a scene of me in the ocean at the bottom in a shipwreck,
freaked
and
out.
I went into a fetal position. So,
dang.
Astronaut.
There you go. Would you rather take a guaranteed $100,000 or a 50-50 shot at $1 million?
50-50 at $1 million.
50-50. High roller, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Tacos or pizza?
It gotta be pizza.
Dogs or cats?
It's gotta be dogs.
Breakfast or dinner?
We're gonna do breakfast.
Breakfast, me too. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Money or free time?
Free time.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say beach.
No, I mean I love the beach, but the mountains are just majestic.
Yeah,
I mean, I love
agree.
being, walking out that door and see those mountains.
Yeah, I know, when it's
awesome.
clear. Yeah, good point. Yeah, me too. Winter or summer?
Summer.
What did you want to be as a kid growing up?
I wanted to just really help people.
You want to just
whichever
help
way I
people.
could.
That's what you're doing. Awesome. Okay, one person, dead or alive, you'd love to have dinner with.
Oh man, it would be my best friend. So my best friend passed away from cancer, but if he could be back, he also lifted, and he was the one that worked out with me like every day when I was like a teenager.
Nice.
So I'd want to have dinner with him and be like, hey dude, I'm still working out.
Dope, dude.
I'm still
there
doing
you
my
go,
thing.
man. That would be an awesome dinner. That's awesome. Okay, last question. If you can be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh man, that's a tough one. As a kid, I always wanted to be a cheetah because I feel like I could just catch anything I wanted. Like I could just run fast, and I could be, the best at that.
Like a
just being
savage.
fast.
Yeah, dude. Nice, dude. Well, Harris, man, this is, I really enjoyed this episode so much. I'm sure this is going to just help, especially like med students, just people people who go to the doctor regularly and stuff. You really shared a lot. And I appreciate your time. Like I said, I know it took a while to get you on here because of your studies.
Yeah.
But, man, it was all worth it. It was definitely worth the wait.
Worth it.
And I wish you the best of luck on your fitness journey moving forward. And let's do this again sometime, man.
I agree. Let's do it again.